We start with the latest from West Asia, where the focus is on Lebanon. Its capital, Beirut, looks like a war zone. The sky is full of black smoke, sounds of explosions fill the air, and rubble is piling up on the streets. Last night, Israel struck Beirut again. It was their deadliest airstrike yet. Yesterday's attack alone killed at least 22 people. More than 100 others are injured. Israel hit central Beirut. It's a part of the city that was not targeted before. This area is packed with civilians with multiple apartments, and this is where Israeli forces struck without a warning. Who were they after? A man called Wafik Safa. He's a senior Hezbollah leader. Wafik Safa was a close ally of Hassan Nasrallah. Nasrallah was killed by Israel last month. Safa was one of his main negotiators, which makes him an important target for Israel, and that's why they wanted to kill him. But they failed. Wafik Safa managed to survive the strike, but some of the locals around him were not so lucky. Eyewitnesses say Israel carried out a devastating strike.
Who helped you? Did you go to the hospital, or did someone in the street help?
Someone on the street from the guys. I thought I was not going to survive.
What happened?
People have been humiliated, they have been. What can they do?
The situation in southern Lebanon is even worse. This is where Israel says it is hitting Hezbollah bases. To justify their operation, the Israeli Defense Forces have also released a video. It shows their spokesperson giving a tour of the house. Israel says that this was a Hezbollah base, where its fighters stored guns and grenades. Take a look at this.
Every house is a terror base. I wanted you to see in your own eyes what we found here today. This is our forces raiding on this village. Come with me. All of these weapons here were stored and piled in the house, ready for the big raid. You see the hand grenades here? Sniper rifles, extremely high sniper rifles, shooting on our forces, shooting on our civilians from far away. Look at those sniper rifles here.
The video is indeed quite dramatic. Critics say that this is part of the Israeli information war. In the early days of the Gaza war, videos like these were quite common. The IDF used to release them frequently. They were presented as proof of threat and the enemy's nefarious designs, and they were meant to justify Israel's military actions. Now, the same strategy is being deployed in Lebanon. The exact location of this Hezbollah base is not clear. Also, we don't know when the video was shot. Israel has not shared a lot of specifics, but it's made its intent amply clear. The IDF will escalate this war, and this has alarmed the region, especially the Gulf states. They are worried about Israel's next moves with respect to Iran. This week, Israel issued fresh threats. Remember, we told you about this. They said that they will retaliate and that the strike would be deadly, precise, and surprising. These were the exact words of the Israeli Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant. And they seem to have triggered more panic. The Gulf states are lobbying the United States. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar. They want to avoid further escalation, and they want Washington to intervene to stop Israel from targeting Iranian oil sites. What is it that prompted this appeal? A threat from Tehran. It said that any Gulf assistance to Israel would be seen as an act of war. This includes opening up their airspace for any Israeli operation. Iran has delivered this message to the Saudis and drawn clear red lines with this warning. It is basically telling the Gulf states that if Israel attacks us, we will go after your oil facilities. You see, in the event of an all-out war, the Americans are expected to support Israel. And the Americans have military bases all over the Gulf. So Iran sees them as fair game. It's a scenario that Gulf countries want to avoid. The oil market is already feeling nervous. Prices of Brent crude have been volatile this week. Sweeping attacks on oil facilities will mean a sharp jump in oil prices. So these Gulf countries want America to stop Israel. But at this point, even the U.S. seems helpless. Consider what Antony Blinken said today.
So Israel has a clear and very legitimate interest in doing that. The people of Lebanon want the same thing. We believe that the best way to get there is through a diplomatic understanding, one that we've been working on for some time and one that we're extremely focused on right now.
That's the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. He sounds completely out of touch with the ground reality. He keeps talking about a diplomatic solution. But for that, Israel will have to end its operations, both in Gaza and in Lebanon. And Netanyahu has shown no inclination to do that. In fact, he has opened up another front in this war. Israel seems to be going after the United Nations now.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.